FanAd daily video for August 28th. I want to point out below this video, you can see a red button where you can get the full FanAd for today's card. Below that, you submit your email address to us. We'll send you these 3 games plus a bonus game for free. And below that, you'll see there's a video that you can watch, about a 15-minute video that you can watch that'll give you all the information about how to use the FanAd indicators, what goes into the indicators. We strongly recommend, if you haven't looked at that, that you give that a look and maybe even go through it a couple times, because it'll make it'll really help you in choosing your lineups for fantasy contests. It'll help you if you're putting in Vegas style bets. You need to really understand how to interpret the data. All right, before we get going here, I'm going to make a few comments on yesterday. We had a confidence level yesterday, Sunday, for the contest that we featured of, I think it was 6 to 7 that we would make a profit. And as you can see here, we did. $1, we made a profit. We were right on most of what we analyzed and our conclusions. We just happened to pick a couple players that didn't perform as well as we had hoped they would, and left out a couple players that did perform well. But still, it's all about making a profit, breaking even until you hit the big one. So we did achieve that.
Navin, you have taken in $15 and given away 50 cents worth of crap, which gives us a net profit of $14.50.
All right, let's dig in today. These 3 games are actually in a contest tonight, a 7 o'clock contest on FanDuel. We're going to go ahead and analyze these to figure out which pitchers to use, or pitcher to use, and which sluggers to use. We always start with the PR plus. That's the pitcher rating plus. That's the center of the universe. And what we see here, just by looking at the PR plus, that there aren't any standout pitchers. In fact, a lot of them really stink.
Life stinks. Life stinks.
So we've got to find somebody. So we'll probably, let's look at the strikeout ratings. We've got an 8.75 here, but awful recency. So not interested in this pitcher. We've got nobody else in the blue for strikeout rating. So nothing stands out, but we got to pick a pitcher. So we're probably just going to go with Montgomery on one entry. He's got a 97 PR plus, and probably go with Trevor Williams from Pittsburgh on the other entry. So we'll put in 2 entries today, or we might put more than 2 in. We'll explain that later. But right now, just picking our pitchers, yeah, we've got a couple good PR pluses here, but again, awful recency, poor recency, meaning the last 4 games, both of these pitchers didn't do very well. So we're not that interested in those. And obviously down here, you'd have to be somewhat insane to take either one of those pitchers.
Call me crazy one more time. Cuckoo.
With those indicators. Now it's in Colorado and the numbers are always low for Colorado, but still, why even chance it? We're not taking those pitchers. So again, Trevor Williams for Pittsburgh, Chicago Cubs, Mike Montgomery, those were our 2 pitchers. Let's look at sluggers. So what we want to do is we want to find sluggers that are facing terrible pitchers and terrible bullpens. Well, look at down here. You've got horrible PR pluses. You've got poor and awful recency for both these pitchers. You've got bad bullpens for both teams. You've got decent, blue home run ratings for both teams. I mean, that's where your sluggers have to come from. Now, that said, everybody is going to choose their sluggers from those 2 teams. So what you need to do is you need to figure out, maybe put a couple entries in. So that's why I said I'm going to put more than 2 entries in. I think I'm going to put 3 entries in with the Trevor Williams pitcher, 3 entries with the Chicago Cubs, and then I'm going to mix and match sluggers from Detroit and Colorado. Maybe throw in just maybe a random slugger or 2 from, say, Tampa, because Tampa's got a good home run rating. They're facing an awful pitcher, awful recency, not a bad PR plus. So the perfect storm is definitely down here. I mean, this whole thing is just a perfect storm. So you've just got to defensively. That's where you got to get your sluggers from. So that's where we'll leave it. Pittsburgh, Chicago pitchers, and Detroit, Colorado sluggers. Maybe a couple from Tampa. Just throw them in there just in case nobody else uses them, and you get lucky. Our confidence rating, our confidence level today, on making some money, making a profit. Just because everybody's going to use Colorado, Detroit, we're not real high. Let's just say we're dead center at 5 for our confidence that we'll make some money. Good luck in your games. I'll leave it at that. Again, below this video, you can see a red button where you can click and get the full FanAd. Below that, you can, and by the way, there's other contests, so by getting the full FanAd, you can enter other contests and not just this one that I featured here. Below that red button, submit your email address. We'll send you these free games to your email, plus we'll send you a bonus game for free. I forgot to mention at the beginning, if you're watching this on YouTube, click the little, or go below the video, there's a description, there's a link in there you can click on, it'll bring you to a page that gives you both of those. And again, if you haven't watched that 15-minute video on how to use the FanAd, we suggest you do that. Good luck in your games, and tomorrow's Tuesday, we'll be back at you for those featured games and that featured contest.